Hello and welcome back to Once Upon a Tea Time. This is chapter 3 of But Friend, This Cage is Inside Out, entitled Hospital. Hope you enjoy. Uraraka winced as she opened her eyes. Her body ached with a stiff pain, like she needed to stretch and pop her joints. Slowly, she began remembering what had happened. The earthquake, the kid, the debris. She risked to look down at the hospital bed to where her legs were wrapped in thick padded casts, completely white. They obscured every inch of her legs, feet, and hips. Drawing her eyes away from the sight she took in the room, light blue walls framed a white tile floor. A window was opened, supplying fresh air and natural light into the room. It hurt her eyes less than ceilingly did, so for a silent moment, she stared out the window. How long had it been? It couldn't have been more than a few hours, right? Days? Weeks? Uraraka furrowed her brow, her eyes wandering back around the room in an attempt to distract herself. A red button on her bedside caught her attention, and she read the sticker on it. "Nurse call button," she mumbled, reaching towards it. The black wire ran out of the back of it into the wall, causing it to be rather immobile. After some awkward shuffling, Uraraka managed to hit the button without hurting herself. A splendid job, if she did say so herself. After a few moments of waiting, a nurse dressed in light blue scrubs entered the room. The lanyard around her neck had an ID card attached with the name Kimura, Maiko, printed on it. Uraraka recognized her as the older woman in the room previously. "Uravity, dear, how are you feeling?" she asked, picking up a clipboard from the end of the table. "A little tired and numb." She rubbed her head with her free arm. "You don't have to call me that. Ochako is fine." "All right, it seems you remember who you are. You didn't sustain any injury above the waist, but for peace of mind, do you remember everything? Who you are, why you're here?" Kimura picked up a pen. "Uraraka Ochako, the hospital, and because I got hurt while saving a kid in the field." She closed her eyes as she recounted the details. "How long was I asleep?" 18 hours. I gave you medicine." She wrote something down as she spoke. "Are you in any pain?" "No, I'm fine, but 18 full hours? When will I be able to leave?" "You can see the condition you're in. You won't be able to get up for months. The rubber broke your left and right femur, your right tibia, and fractured your pelvic bone," the nurse said, checking her vitals on the monitor beside the bed. "Are you hungry? Thirsty?" "Yeah, I haven't eaten." Uraraka's answer lacked any thought. Was she really going to be out of the field for months? Who was going to help the other heroes? Who would save the civilians? Maiko nodded. "I'll get you a meal. Your cell phone was unable to be salvaged from the rubble. You can use the telephone on the table to make calls." She turned to leave, but stopped. "Oh, I was asked to give you this once you woke up." She pulled a card from her pocket and handed it to Uraraka before exiting the room. The card was one of the Valentine's Top 10 from the beginning of the year. A line of Valentine's Day cards with the top 10 heroes on the cover. All of them had cheesy lines on them, like Deku's proclaiming he'd dedicate an entire notebook of analysis to the receiver, or Dynamite said that the receiver was the spark to his explosions. The particular card was one she was on. Guessed the sender had a sense of humor. Uraraka snickered at her glittery pink font that told the receiver they made her heart lighter. She cracked the card open, eyes falling on the signatures that lined the light pink pages. The signatures of her friends from UA. Uraraka's eyes watered. "I'm sorry you got hurt. I hope we can visit you in the hospital soon." Izuku. "Get better soon, Ochako." Mina. "You shouldn't have gotten hurt, dumbass. But good job. Cats. I hope you have a quick recovery." A cute frog was drawn beside it in green pen. Sue. "I bet you looked manly saving that kid. Get better soon." Ejiro. "Sorry you got hurt. I'll send you a playlist of my favorite relaxing songs to take your mind off of it." Kyoka. "I hope you're alright. I'll make sure to send flowers if I can't make it." Momo. Uraraka smiled at the card, easing her way into a more comfortable position. Now sitting up, she reached for her phone, putting her card on the table in the process. She decided she should let her friends know she was doing better. Dialing the first number she thought of, Uraraka waited for the line to be picked up. It rang once, then twice, then... "Hello?" "Hey, Sue!" "Oh, Ochako, you're awake now. I stopped by earlier, but the nurse said you were sleeping." "Sorry," she said, rubbing the back of her head. "I'm still recovering." "Of course you are," Asui chuckled. Her voice evened a bit, growing softer and more serious. "How bad was it?" Just some broken bones. No worse than when you were shoved off that bridge. Too soon. And I didn't break anything. I just sprained my wrist. Now how bad is it really? Uraraka sighed into the line. Nurse said I broke both my femur bones, my right tibia, and fractured my hip. Asuik asked quietly. Really? How long will it take to heal? Apparently, I got lucky. They said it'll heal almost completely, but it'll take months. A year if I'm unlucky. I'll make sure to visit you and take some extra jobs to help even out the workflow. No, you don't have to do that, Sue. Of course I do. You hardly let me cook my own dinner when I sprained my wrist. Let me help you. Fine. Thank you. A sharp knock on the door cut her off. Huh, seems like someone's here. Can I call you back later? Whenever you're feeling up to it. Bye, Sue. Bye. The brisk sound came again, along with some mumbled words. Come in, Uraraka called. The knob turned, and a man walked in. He looked rather shrewd, wearing a black suit and tie. No older than his 50s. The man's hair remained a solid black, matching his attire. A vanilla folder was held tightly in his hands, along with a pen. Hello, you are Uraraka Ochako, CA agent Uravity, correct? He asked, peering at her through his thick-rimmed glasses. Yeah, why? She felt uncomfortable under his gaze. He almost seemed to be scrutinizing her every move, every breath as she spoke. I'm Akamoto Hiyataru, a human resource employee at CAA, he began, handing the envelope to Uraraka. I hope you've been feeling well, and I'm sorry to be disturbing you so early in your recovery, but I was asked to pass this on to you. She accepted it, reading over the outside carefully. While her friends had gone to more popular agencies, Uraraka had felt her quirk would be put to better use elsewhere. They'd also offered her more than enough money to keep her afloat. That's why she joined CAA, the Crisis Aversion Agency. Responsible for the very situation that had gotten her into this hospital was the job she was assigned. Our sound team says the earthquake isn't expected to begin for roughly 2 more hours. Evacuation should begin now. Please help any civilian towards the evacuation centers, her boss had told her, and that's exactly what she did. Though the earthquake had struck long before she'd even arrived in the area, a mere 15 minutes later. That was what had left her fumbling and running around like she was back in training. With a sigh, she cracked the seal, taking the letter from its envelope. Uraraka Ochako, we hope this letter finds you well. In regard to your latest mission and latest injury, the Crisis Aversion Agency, henceforth known as the CAA, called a meeting of the board to discuss your status. You were heavily injured in the evacuation while attempting to save a child. Granted, you succeeded and the child is safe of harm, but you are now bedridden. It was very possible for you to lose your life in such a situation. You may remember receiving a letter earlier this year when you saved a family from a collapsing building. Although it was an impressive display of quick strength and decision-making capabilities, you were sent a letter of warning. We cannot have our heroes make life-risking choices in the field. They are too valuable of workers in our small agency. We are first crisis prevention agents, second-hand professional heroes. Our priority has never been the rescuing of citizens, but the prevention of disaster. When you ran off alone against the order of your superior to attempt to help in the way professional heroes tend to, you risked the safety of not only yourself, but the people depending on you to help with the evacuation. Though worse still would have been the death of a hero on our hands. It is with a heavy heart we legally sever the contract you signed with the CAA and release you from your duties as an agent under our name. You are officially terminated from our system. With regard, the CAA legal team, headed by Sakazawa Tayawaki. I've been fired? Uraraka turned to look at the man. The paper crinkled as she gripped it. For saving a kid. Was I supposed to let him die? He grimaced. It's not my place to say whether or not any of this should be happening, but yes, you have been fired. He said, that is all I was here to accomplish. I hope you're back on your feet soon, and I'm sorry about the CAA. You were a good agent. He turned around and left the room silently as Uraraka watched, mouth agape. What the hell? She glared at the letter, gritting her teeth. Are they stupid? 3 hours had passed. 3 hours in which Uraraka sat silently, eating her lunch and debating her life. Fired from her agency and bedridden for months. What was she supposed to do? She could try and find a new job at a new agency, she supposed. They had fired her, not gotten her license suspended, though she knew from the rumors that circled the Hero Society that no self-respecting agency would hire a less-than-ideal hero. This was a slash on her card, a scuff on her otherwise perfect record. She'd held down job after job, resigning peacefully from them all until she got to where she was today. Or yesterday, rather. Today she sat in a hospital bed, unable to move anything from the waist down, angry at some stupid company. A knock came at her door again, soft and nervous this time. "Come in," Uraraka sighed, looking towards the door as it opened. "Oh, Izuku? Hey!" She smiled at him. "I wasn't expecting you so soon." "Hey, Ochako." He entered the room, cradling a vase of flowers in his arms. "Kacchan took over the end of my patrol for me so I could head over. Are you feeling all right? Well, I know you're hurt, but are you feeling better than you did when you woke up?" he asked. "I get what you mean," she said. "I'm fine. I haven't been able to feel my legs since I got here, but at least it doesn't hurt." "It's good to look on the bright side," he said with a smile, making his way to the side table. He put the vase down gently. "Oh, you got your card." "Yeah, thanks for sending one." "Of course, an old friend was in the hospital. Not everyone can come and visit, but everyone from Class A who stayed in the area made sure to sign it." Midoriya said, picking up the card and glancing over it. He rolled his eyes fondly when he saw Bakugo's signature. "It's been a bit since we had the time to sit down and catch up. What are you up to these days?" Uraraka leaned back into the pillow, still sitting up. "Oh, I've still been working in All Might's old agency, just like high school. I'm happy where I am, so not much changes, except for new hires. We're looking into this pair who applied now." He waved his hand dismissively. "Anyway, I was out making an arrest yesterday when I got news of your injury. They sent it through the entire local hero radio system trying to get someone over to you. Do you mind if I pull a chair over?" "Go ahead. Did the arrest go well?" Uraraka asked. She watched his expression change a bit, settling into something pensive. "It went fine." He sat down in the chair he'd pulled from beside the door. "Do you remember Toga Himiko from the League of Villains?" "Yeah, she was the last one, right?" "Yeah, we caught her after all these years. She slipped up at a bank robbery," he said. "Really? A robbery? I thought she was better than that. How'd she get caught?" "Triggered the front alarm system. I think whoever she was working with couldn't get it down in time. Whatever the reason, it worked in our favor. We have her in Erebus now." "What?" Uraraka furrowed her brow. "Why not Tyrus? You know the kind of stuff she did firsthand. Is that deserving of redemption?" "I know you never met her. Not in high school and not now. I can't say whether she'll change, but everyone deserves a chance. She made me a better hero, made me strive to be someone capable of breaking through that darkness and helping people like her. And that's what I'll do." He fidgeted with his hands as he spoke, but he met Uraraka's gaze. She sighed slightly. "All right, I'll trust you just this once. Not like you can undo that now anyways." "Thanks." He smiled softly. "How about you? You were working with CAA last I heard." "Well, that information is officially outdated," Uraraka said bitterly. "Huh?" "I was fired," she drawled. "Really?" The man was shocked, his eyebrows flying up. "Because you were hospitalized?" "Kind of. They said it was because I saved the boy and put myself in danger. Something about not wanting a dead hero on their hands, and because I wasn't supposed to run off to save people, just evacuate them." She paused, crossing her arms as best she could. "I'm not going to say I was wrong. I would have saved that boy if it killed me." There was a profound coldness in her tone. Midoriya nodded understandingly. "I get it. I would have done the same thing." He glanced away. "But I can see where they're coming from too. They don't want the public to see that they sent you to your death, even if you chose it." "I know," Uraraka said sullenly, though she tried for a brittle smile. "I'll help you find a new job if you're still interested in hero work." Midoriya put a reassuring hand on Uraraka's arm. "If not, we can always look for a new career opportunity somewhere else." Uraraka nodded. "Thank you. I probably don't deserve such a good friend." She laughed, pulling him into a hug. She was happy to feel the warmth of another person after the days stranded in her empty hospital bed. "Of course you do. I'm sure all of our friends will be over here in the next few days to see you too." He smiled altruistically as he pulled away from the hug. His smile dropped a little bit after a moment, and Uraraka saw his hands pressed tight together. She leaned over lightly, pulling her hand atop his. "What's the news?" she asked gently. "The public started freaking out when pictures of the medical team taking you away on the stretcher were on the news. They were making horrible theories, wondering if you died. It scared me. I pulled some strings and got the hospital to tell me your condition that first night you were in here," he said. Uraraka patted his back. of his hand encouragingly, and he continued,